Promosa Secondary School has 1,095 learners. It is one of 114 schools in Northwest with asbestos buildings. The SGB says education authorities' promise to demolish the buildings has not been fulfilled.
We have done a presentation to the Human Rights Commission regarding the asbestos buildings, which are in some of the buildings which are also very dilapidated, which have health risk for the learners, teachers and the school community at large. So what happened is that the department promises to demolish the asbestos buildings. It was for the past 5 years already.
The transfer of learners to mobile classrooms has been called comfort to the parents who want the asbestos buildings demolished because they still pose a risk.
We are very afraid as parents and teachers on this premises for the safety of the learners, because the learners are passing underneath those dilapidated buildings. We need the department as in yesterday to remove those dilapidated buildings and to remove all the other asbestos classes here, because we are afraid that our learners is going to get asbestos because they are going inside those asbestos classes.
But during the presentation of her budget vote at the provincial legislature this past week, Education MEC lambasted those who raised the asbestos issue at the Human Rights Commission hearings.
I've been listening to some saying asbestos in our schools. Fortunately, we are having plans to eradicate those asbestos. But whose mess is this one? Have they ever thought at that particular point of creating such a schools in the Republic of South Africa? I don't want to talk about their mess. It's a mess, that thing, and it's your mess. The government of the ANC is here to deal with all those mess. So to be opportunistic and even go to Human Rights Commission will not assist any one of you.
The Human Rights Commission says the continued existence of asbestos buildings in schools is a human rights violation.
The South African Human Rights Commission determined that all these complaints that we received regarding poor infrastructure in schools were or are a systemic human rights violation, and as a result thereof, there was a need to hold the inquiry hearing, which was held in March 2022. However, with regards to the Promosa Secondary School, we were informed as the South African Human Rights Commission that the Department of Education will ensure that they procure services of contractors to demolish the asbestos structure. Unfortunately, there hasn't been any contractor on site to ensure that the structure is demolished.
Says its report will contain findings and recommendations which will be presented to affected stakeholders. Mahikeng, SABC News, Potchefstroom.